Goatwhore, Constricting Rage of the Merciless. This one I was really disappointed in myself for missing. However, earlier this month, and this is actually unofficial, nobody has actually heard about this here on the nation, here in the channel, but earlier this month I had to up and move out of my apartment. The main reason being, the air conditioner decided to die, and it was one of those systems where it was going to be too expensive to repair. So we basically moved right across the hall. So I missed this one solely based around the fact that I was busy moving boxes and, worrying about where to put the Tupperware. But Goatwhore is a band that for a long time has been really a great purveyor of metal, and one that has come from the ashes of acid bath. And this is a project that certainly has a lot of potential. It always has, and that potential was finally realized in many people's opinions, considering it affected a wide-scale area, as opposed to being restrained to just those who knew about this band with their last album, Blood of the Master. That was an album that I did a review of, and that was actually an album that made it to the top list for that year. And with this album right here, of course, the wonderment is how the follow-up is going to be. Are they going to be able to follow up such a great disc, a disc that got so much acclaim, with one that equals that and pushes it a little bit further? I really feel that with this album that they kind of just stayed the course a little bit. It still has brutal elements, and it's still one heck of a good disc. It's certainly no slouch. It's not like we're talking about the newest El Nino disc. However, it's an album that after the crunch and just the grind and the fantastically put together previous effort just feels like it has something that it's lacking a little bit, and perhaps it's some of the more really just throw up your horns and headbang your ass off moments that seem to really populate Blood of the Master. It doesn't feel like it's on this disc nearly as much. One thing that I do like about this album is Heaven's Crumbling Walls of Pity going into Cold Earth Consumed in Dying Flesh. The reason why is because you essentially see two sides of the same band. You see and hear the one that is able to really rage their way through tracks, that's able to go at a very breakneck pace and really showcase everything that they're able to do on an accelerated scale. But then with Cold Earth, you have a song that slows down, that really takes that old school death metal philosophy. If you listen to a lot of old death metal discs, especially ones that are not necessarily on the absolute crust of the death metal earth, instead the ones that are just a little bit subterranean, you'll notice that there are a lot of tracks that are very direct, very forceful, that have that 150,000 mile per hour makeup to it. And then there's always one track where it's just slowed down, and they really take elements from doom metal. They really take elements from just trying to set up a great atmosphere, one that really is supposed to perpetuate evil or perpetuate some sort of real anxiety. And this is a track that's able to really heighten that. Not to the point of, say, Mayhem's new album, which the whole entire album feels like a fucking acid trip. No. This is one instead where you just feel a little bit anxious, and where the headbanging, instead of it being as hard as humanly possible, kind of just slows down. It's almost like headbanging in slow motion a little bit, and you keep that head down a little bit further, and you just keep bobbing and bobbing and bobbing. Overall, totally speaking, this is definitely a disc that, even though I feel that it was a bit of a letdown after the wonderment of Blood of the Master, I still really enjoyed it, and I still think that many people, whether they were fans of just the last record or they've been longtime fans of the band, have really found something with this album that they've been able to grab hold to. Maybe it's just something that, for me, it's going to take more and more listens, and, well, that just wasn't a luxury that I've been afforded thus far. But, hey, anyway, for an album that I missed, it's just definitely one that I highly recommend. There are many copies of this still available in my store and probably in others, so if I were you, I would go to your local music store after you close out the videos from today and go pick it up.